The COVID-19 pandemic changed the way of doing things in almost every aspect of life. Application for admission, scholarship acquisition, and even visa processes to study abroad were also affected. In this episode of the Experience series, Ralph walks us through his admission, scholarship, and his visa acquisition experience after the COVID-19 pandemic. If you are struggling to gain admission, scholarship, or even visa appointment date, then this is the video to watch. You're going to get a lot of education and information from this video. My name is Fred, this is the Fred Effect, and you're welcome to another episode of the Experience series. On any of the episodes of the Experience series, we interact with individuals who have been through the entire study abroad journey so that they share their experience with you who intends to go through a similar process. Let's get started.
Not for the visa, for the interview. For the opportunity to be heard.
Yeah. So COVID really affected you that much?
The interview itself, we're supposed to go with mask. If you are still in school, make sure you graduate well. Are you prepared to sacrifice the course that you want and get a course that will give you funding? Take it one day at a time. Take your time and prepare. Don't rush things. Look good. You have to be confident. And relax. Inshallah, you'll make it here.
So today I'm here at Purdue University with my brother and we are going to interact with him. So tell us your name, the program you are currently pursuing, and your university.
So my name is Raphael. I'm currently in Purdue University, Fort Wayne.
Okay.
And I am reading Masters in Professional Communication.
So bro, tell us when you had your admission and when did you actually get to the US?
So I got my admission at the end of 2019.
Okay.
The interview processes for the GTA position for the funding was at the beginning of 2020.
Okay.
And I was supposed to come in the fall of 2020, that's August. But unfortunately, 2020 is when
COVID.
Yes, the borders were shut and the US Embassy just cancelled all visa appointments. So that affected me.
Wow.
Yeah. So I applied for an emergency visa interview, and still because of the COVID situation, it was denied.
Wow.
Yeah. So
okay. So you had admission to come in the fall 2020, and because of COVID, you had to defer your program. Your appointment were cancelled.
Yes.
And now you put in an emergency request that I want to come for emergency request because I had already deferred my program.
Yeah.
And the embassy was like, no.
Yeah. It was rejected. So what I had to do is I realized that people were paying for the MRV fee again, and
which is the visa application fee.
Which is the visa application fee, and we're requesting for second emergency interviews. And that is so because with each application fee, you are able to request for just one emergency.
Yeah.
Yes. So when I paid the second visa application fee, and mind you, by this time I had deferred the program to January of 2021.
Okay. So, and your funding was also deferred?
My funding, thankfully, it was deferred.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. And this is still, so although I deferred the program, we are still in 2020.
Yeah.
So when I paid the second MRV fee, and I booked for an interview.
Okay.
The date I got was in June. I think June 30th of 2021.
Meanwhile, your program is starting
in January.
Okay.
Yes. So I applied for the emergency again, and I think it was time sensitive.
Yeah.
I think a few emergency dates were available.
So you paid for the MRV fee, and now you have to put in another emergency request. How was the feeling? Because you have already done that, they've denied it.
Then I had this strange feeling of confidence.
Yeah.
That instance I was going to get it.
Yeah.
So when I applied, I think it didn't take up to 4 hours.
Do you know the reason why the earlier emergency requests were denied? Was it that there was no date available, or why was it denied?
I think it was still in the heat of the lockdown.
And you were not given any reason why your emergency?
No reason.
So $160 was wasted without any explanation from the embassy?
Yeah, no explanation.
Wow, so it means that you went through a lot. You had your program deferred, which was risky. And now you have to pay 2 times the MRV fee.
Yeah,
just for one visa interview.
Not for the visa, for the interview. For the opportunity to be heard.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And how about, because if you if it was like a year, it means that you paid the service fee earlier?
It wasn't wasted because it's the same school. It was the same school.
Okay.
So the service information for the school remained the same.
So COVID really affected you that much, and Was it different in terms of the interview, social distancing, mask wearing, and all that?
So the interview itself, we were supposed to go with mask, and the seats outside before you actually enter the embassy for the interview were spaced.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so social distancing was really observed, and yeah, we had to be in our mask.
While speaking to the consular officer, were you still in a mask?
I was still in a mask.
Tell us the day you went for your interview and take us through the preparation stage.
So my interview date was 23rd December.
Okay.
That's 2 days before Christmas.
Awesome.
So I think while people were preparing for Christmas, I wasn't in a good mental state.
Okay.
So I came from Ghana and I went for the visa interview at the US Embassy in Cantonment.
Okay. In Accra, right?
In Accra, yeah.
Tell us your preparation towards the interview. Then we'll go to the exact day, what you did on the exact day.
Okay, so before the interview, I was on this WhatsApp group.
Okay.
I think you are very much aware the WhatsApp group that you had created. Yeah. Yes. And many people who had gone through the process had shared their experiences.
Okay.
So it sort of demystified the whole process. It gave us some vivid imagination of what we're going to experience when we got there.
Okay.
Personally, I think I saw some patterns in the way the interviews were conducted, the kind of questions that I was supposed to expect. So that was the first point of preparation for me. It was very, very helpful. I made sure that I went through every person's experiences on the page, so that if there was a slightest variation in the questions, I see how it's how those variations go. And I also compared those who got it and those who didn't get it. Okay. Sometimes you realize that from what they reported, you see they had similar questions, they give similar answers. Okay. And yet one person would get it and the other person wouldn't get it. So I also try to see what were the differences. Why would people give similar answers, and in some situations they would get it and in other situations they won't. Okay.
Can you tell us your qualification prior to your current program?
Okay, so before coming, in Ghana, I attended the University of Ghana. Okay. So my first degree was in political science and music. It's a combined major. And then I had a second degree in education. That's a master's in education. Okay. Also from the University of Ghana. Okay. What do you think about people who have already had their masters and yet coming for another master? I think it's up to them what they want. Personally, it is not about the qualification, it's about the knowledge. Okay. And since I was veering into a different field, I thought coming for another master's would better suit what I want. Okay. Were you not some sort of skeptical? You did political science and music, masters in education, and now masters in communication, which is, I don't know how you correlate that. Yeah, true. Almost different fields, all three of them. First and foremost, I wasn't really, I didn't have any doubts in the first place. And I didn't apply for the masters in communication straight away. I applied for another master's in education. Okay, but not what I did in University of Ghana was curriculum development specialization. Okay, I applied for special education specialization here, and the university gave me some other choices. So they first told me I had received admission, and they gave me 3 other programs because I think the masters in special education didn't meet the Department of Homeland Security requirements, the minimum number of courses I'm supposed to take. Okay. So the school gave me the option to choose from, I think, business administration, communication, and computer science. When I decided on the program, after the university gave me the options, I decided on the program. And I'll advise people that they should read the requirements and the opportunities available for each program. Okay. I have interest in communication, and it so happens that coincidentally there was funding for communication. It wasn't until I got here that I realized that for the other programs there is no funding as there is for communication. Okay. So it's, should I say it's luck? Yeah. So first, if you have the interest and you find a course that suits your interest, you must also find out whether the course offers you the opportunities to receive funding. So in effect, what we are saying is that people who have already had a master's degree and they are coming to pursue a second master's shouldn't be afraid. Were you asked that question at the embassy? I wasn't asked that question, but They took my transcript for both the first degree and the second degree.
Okay.
They didn't ask me why I'm going for a second master's. No.
And what about the program? Why are you moving to another program? Were you asked?
I wasn't asked that.
So how many minutes did you spend with a consular officer?
Barely 2 minutes.
Okay, so how many questions then, if you remember actually?
I don't think altogether I was asked more than 4 questions.
Do you remember any of those questions and how you responded?
So I think the first question is, where are you going to?
Okay, obviously.
So I mentioned the school, and then I just added a program to pursue. I mentioned my program.
Yeah.
And then the second question was, how do you intend to fund the program? And I think this is where I may have given an answer, which could have cost me.
Okay.
Yes. So instead of mentioning my funding, I mentioned that my maternal uncle is going to sponsor me. And
were you sort of nervous?
I was nervous.
Okay.
I was very nervous.
Yeah.
So I said my maternal uncle was going to sponsor me, and then the interview officer pointed to my I-20. He said, "But you have funding." I was like, "Oh yeah." you realize that there is about 1%, 2%. Should I say deficits?
Yeah.
That the funding doesn't cover.
Okay.
And that is where my maternal uncle comes in.
Okay. So I mean, ideally, probably you had prepared that you were going to mention the funding from the school, but out of nervousness, I just said my maternal uncle. So it's okay for people to be nervous at the embassy, right?
Yeah, it's okay. But I think it's how they come back after that. And I think this is a case that is this an issue that is very important. Okay. If you have funding that covers most of your education, then the likelihood of you getting it is high. Okay. And maybe that is why the man prompted me that you have funding.
Yeah, so you should mention that.
So then I had to take his word and then try to justify.
Okay, you tell us that you have a full funding. How come you had a deficit? Can you explain that? Before Ralph answers that question, remember my name is Fred. I'm a second year MPA student as at the time of recording this video. I already hold a first master's degree from Ohio University, so this is my second master's on a fully funded scholarship. So based on years of experience of studying abroad and the opportunity to assist a lot of international students to their dream universities and programs, I decided to create this platform to share with you scholarship and study abroad opportunities, visa interview tips, and generally life abroad. Most of the content I post on this channel, especially concerning universities waiving application fees and scholarships, usually have application deadlines. Unfortunately, sometimes you may see these videos after the deadline has passed. So to make sure you don't miss any of these deadlines, please go ahead and click on the subscribe button if you are yet to. Click on the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified and you can easily check it out and you wouldn't miss these deadlines. Now let's continue with Raf.
So here the funding covers, the full funding means it covers your tuition. Okay. And then there is a little surplus for your living expenses. Okay. However, if you register every semester to take courses, those credit hours ought to be paid for by you. Okay. So every semester we pay within the range of say 1,500.
Would you be comfortable telling us what your deficit was? And you said your maternal uncle was taking care of it.
It was in the range of 1,000. If we are now paying around 1,500 every semester, then obviously within the year the deficit will be more than that 1,000 that was stated in I-20.
Awesome. Yeah. Tell us what time exactly was your interview and when did you get to the embassy?
My interview was at 8:30 in the morning, and I go to the embassy at 8 o'clock.
How long did it take for you to go through the entire process and leave the embassy?
Okay, so the entire process, say about 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. 9:15, you're done.
By that time, I was out of the embassy.
So, if somebody is preparing for the interview, what actually worked for you that you advise them to do?
First thing is preparation.
All right.
The second thing is confidence. And then before you go, you must make sure that as part of the preparation, the first point I mentioned, you have ordered your documents in such a way that you know that this comes first. Okay. That will sort of ease the nervousness. As they ask for the document, you're not now going to be shuffling through your file. Okay. So know that my I-20 comes first, maybe my transcript comes second, and that comes third. Okay. So that you know that if they ask for this document, this is how deep I'm going into my documents to bring it out. Yeah. It gives you some order. Okay. You have to be confident and relaxed. Okay. I think there was a point, like I said, that I wasn't relaxed enough that I almost messed up one question, but look good.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not asking them to go and get 3-piece suits or.
Let's talk about your dressing. We'll come to that. So
okay, so I was in a long sleeve shirt.
Okay.
Okay, it was a white shirt, and then I was in a blue pants, blue trousers.
Okay.
Sorry, black trousers, and then a blue tie.
Oh, okay.
A blue flying tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that is formal enough, but not overly formal. If you don't want to go that formal, you want to maybe wear an African print. It must be a decent African print. Okay. If it's a batakari you want to wear, make sure it's a decent batakari. I think the reason why I'm stressing the dressing is you are going to be a student. So it is important that you come across as a student.
Yeah.
In some regard.
Okay.
Okay. I think that there is this notion going around that, oh, it is not about how you dress. I think how you dress really
should appear
matters
good.
Yes.
You're not a lady. Would you be able to stretch on, if a lady is watching us right now, how should a lady dress?
So the ladies I saw there who looked presentable to me.
And did they get a visa in the
Yes, they did. Okay. So you see this, I don't know how to name ladies dresses, but
okay.
I'm going to use my teachers in primary school. You see the teachers had this grey straight dress that
formal
they use, formal. Yes.
Yeah.
I saw a lady in a black one. I saw another one in a blazer and skirt.
That was decent.
Very decent. And then I saw one with just a lady's blouse, a white shirt, and then I think a skirt.
This is a very weird question. Does hairstyle matter?
I think it will all depend.
Were there some of the stuff you had prior to going for the interview? Now, after the interview, you were like, oh, these things were not true.
For the things I had on the page,
okay.
I don't think any of them wasn't true. Yeah, it gave me a very accurate picture of what I witnessed there. So people have described that they went through a 3-phase sort of queue before they were interviewed. So the queue outside the embassy, the queue outside while in the embassy, and then in the embassy there is depending on how they are making the process now. Okay, because from how some people described it, there was one queue inside, but when I went there were 2 queues.
Awesome.
One queue to take your biometric information and another queue to actually go for the interview itself. So
what do you think about people saying that the embassy has a quota? So notwithstanding whoever you are, whatever funding or program you're going to pursue, once they have their quota, they are done for the day?
I don't believe that is true.
Okay. And some people also think that, the embassy could be watching you whilst you join the queue from outside. What do you think?
Okay, I don't know whether that falls into the purview of conspiracy theory or there's some other parts to it.
Did you talk to somebody within the queue? Because I don't know if you knew anybody within the queue.
I did not know anybody.
What were you doing in the queue?
In my head, I was praying. I was praying, and see, I know maybe not everyone is religious. I am religious, so in as much as I believe in hard work, I also believe in divine intervention. So I was really praying that everything would go on well. Like I said on the page, I realized that there are some people who were almost in the same situation. They had similar questions, they gave similar answers. One person would get, the other won't get. So I think if you believe in a God, that would be a perfect time to invoke him.
Also, based on your experience, why do you think people are denied at the embassy?
I think the first thing is the funding.
Okay.
The first thing is the funding. And maybe people don't stress it enough. So if you have funding, it gives you some peace of mind for yourself.
Yeah. So we are bringing the interview to an end. Let's see your last words to anybody watching. They also want to be in America just like you. What would you have to tell them? Okay,
so first and foremost, I want to say that if you are still in school, make sure you graduate well. Because for you to get the funding, you have to get a good GPA.
Yeah.
So make sure you graduate properly with a good GPA. And when you apply to the schools, make sure that you check the opportunities available for your program, not just in the school. Okay, some schools have a lot of funding opportunities, but they may not extend to the program that you want.
Okay.
So you have to decide for yourself. Do you want to come in with the school? If so, are you prepared to sacrifice the course that you want and get a course that will give you funding? So those are questions that you have to ask yourself. And once you get the funding, take it one day at a time. Take your time and prepare. Don't rush things.
Okay.
Make sure that you get your source of information from people who have had the experience. And I'm not saying this because Fred is my friend. Fred has actually taken people through this process and it's worked. people come from various stages of the process.
Yeah.
Some people start the application with him, some people get application and consult him, some people even consult him while they are going for the interview. So he's a trusted source that he's taking people through, and he's brought countless of people have had the opportunity to come here. So get your information from the right people, from the right source, and then take it one day at a time, and inshallah you'll make it here.
Awesome. So I appreciate your time and thank you for making time.
You're welcome,
to join
Fred.
us. I hope that this interaction would guide your path. In the comment section, let me know if you want to study at the university Raf is currently studying at. If you need assistance on how to go about it, let me know in the comment section. Have you gained admission and struggling to get scholarship? Let me hear from you in the comment section. Raf is studying a master's degree in communication. Is this something you're interested in studying? I am also very active on Twitter. Send me a direct message via Twitter and I'll quickly respond. Make sure you're communicating with the right account. My Twitter handle is verified, so make sure you look out for the blue check, follow the handle and send me a direct message and I'll quickly respond to you. Raf did not have it on an easy way, but he was eventually successful. There is always hope. Just know that you can also make it. All you need to do is to take the first step and put in the effort. There are always resources and individuals available ready to help. Check out this video here on your screen, which I compare studying in US versus studying in Canada. My name is Fred. This has been the Fred Effect. I'll see you in another video. Be positive. Everything will be fine.